Welcome all to the weekly outlook. Boone here from EWPRO. So starting with the DXY, we'll just have a quick look at the weekly because we have broken this top over here. So we got A, B, C as a contracting flat, breaking that top. I'll just see if we do have bearish divergence here. See, we've lost our bearish divergence. So really, we need to wait for a larger correction and then look for more buys. You know, you don't want to be buying up the top here. Looking at the daily, we got that WX. We're still in this extended wave Y. We'll be looking for that X2 and then a Z up. So we'll be looking for a retracement back to the 38.2. I mean, there's nothing to say that this wave Y isn't over yet either, so this fib may change. So we'll be looking for a retracement back to this 98.43 area. On the H4, again, like I said last week, we've lost all the bearish divergence, so we're just looking for a correction in here. More than likely we'll get bull hidden and then another one up. We're looking at it as a WXY, X2 and then a Z up, but we've lost all that bearish divergence, so we're still looking for more upside. But you really need to wait for a correction before you can look for another buy. On the H1, we're looking at that WX. We're still in this, well, we could consider this wave Y over, and we'll be looking for that X2 and then a Z up. On the lower time frames, you can sort of see that we may be getting a little flat in here. So we get an A, B, C in here, a little flat to give us that one down. If you do get a sell set up on the lower time frames, you could look for that sell down to that 38.2, and then you'd be looking for another buy setup. AU on the daily. So we're looking at that WXY, X2, Z down. We lost all the bullish divergence, so we're just looking for this correction in here and then another one down. That gave us that bullish divergence. But either way, we're looking for more downside, and we're sort of looking at this A, B, C in here. We still can get down to that 50 fib. This 50 fib here of this whole move. So we can still get back to that 50 fib. On the H4, nothing's really changed. On the H4, we're looking for those 5 down. So really you need to wait for this X2 and then look for that Z down. On the H1, there is this correction in here, like this A, B, and we'll be looking for a C down. And we've got this flat in here, running flat. We had the bear hidden here as well, you know, so more than likely this will go and break the low. It's just about broken the low now. EU on the daily. So again, we have no bullish divergence, and we're looking at a WX. We're still in a wave Y. We'll be looking for that X2 and then a Z down. We've bounced off this 100 fib now. On the H4, we got an A, B, C, bounced off this 100 fib. I do believe we have bullish divergence. Yeah, we have bullish divergence. Oh, excuse me. Better grab a drink. So we'll be looking for a possible reversal. But on the H1, we just got one wave down. It's not looking impulsive. We got a nice, well, an impulse up, but this in here is looking corrective. I wouldn't be surprised if it goes and breaks the low. We could get another one down here, then another one up here for an A, B, C, and then go and break the low. It's looking corrective though. It doesn't look like the reversal. We did get a bounce off that 100 fib, but it wasn't really impulsive. So be careful with your buys just yet. GU on the daily. So we're looking at this WX. We're still in this wave Y. Then we'll be looking for that X2 and then the Z down on the daily. H4, we're looking for those 5 down. Problem is now we've lost all the bullish divergence, so we'll be just looking for a correction in here, some sort of a correction, and then more downside. More than likely we'll get, well, we looking at WXY, looking for that X2 and then a Z down on the H1. We do have that bear hidden present. So if you do get a sell set up, you could look for that sell. And you'll be targeting the inverse of this here, this move, well, this X wave, the 161.8 and the 123.6. I can't really draw it yet because it's a little bit early. We haven't seen the reversal of, well, we haven't seen the end of this X2 yet. NU on the daily. So we're looking at that A, B, C. It's down to that 100 fib already. It may get down to this 161.8. I don't think we have bullish divergence. We've lost all the bullish divergence. So this may drop further down to that 161.8. Looking at the H4, we don't have any bullish divergence. More than likely, you can't really sell down here. It gets dangerous. You really need a correction before you can start to look for the sell. We need that larger correction, and then you could look for a sell, more downside. But at this stage, I'd be staying out of it. All right, H1, we sort of got this bear hidden here. So more likely to break the low. And then you'll be looking for like a trend line break. You'll be looking for a trend line break and then a buy setup, for at least a larger correction. So wherever this wave here ends, you'll be waiting for a bullish setup. May just come back to this trend line here, but yeah, at this stage there really isn't nothing you can do if you're not in the trades already. The market's gone too far for you to start jumping in. Looking at the UY, we're looking at that WX. I'm looking at all this as a wave Y, and then we'll be looking for an X2 and a Z up. Looking at this as an internal, like WXY, X2 and then a Z. So this wave Y more than likely isn't over. On the H4, we're starting to get bearish divergence on the H4. So we're looking at that WXY, wait for that X2 and then a Z up. Is it? Yeah, so we're looking for a 38.2 retracement in here. We're getting bearish divergence. So, any sell setup you start to get, I mean, this here isn't looking, this is still looking bullish here, and we may get like bull hidden here. So you could scalp, if you get a buy setup, you could scalp it, but you're just scalping it to break that top. I'll be more interested in the sell. We need to break that low and give us a correction. And you'll be targeting that 38.2. The Swissy, like I said, we can look at this as, well, we have to look at this as a contracting flat in here for an A, B, C. We're looking for that 100 fib. It's just about there. We'll just draw that correct. So on the H4, look at this as a WX. We're in a wave white. You really need to wait for this X2, and then you can look for that Z up. There's no bearish divergence. And like I said, you can't really start buying up here. You know, you can scalp, but it starts to get dangerous. We've got bearish divergence. I'm more interested in, you know, if this goes up to this 100 fib, we may get a bounce off of that, and you may get a self setup. And you'll be looking for at least the 50 fib move of this, wherever this ends. Or the 38.2, sorry, 38.2 retracement before you get that Z up on the H4. Looking at the UCAD, so we really have to look at this as some sort of ugly looking running flat. We can look at it like this, you know, for an A, B, C. We're looking for price to get up to that 100 fib. So looking at the H4, nothing's changed since last week. We're looking at that WX wave wide. We're looking for price to get up to this 161.8. Then looking for a retracement in X2 and then a Z up. See, we do have, excuse me, we do have a bull hidden here. So if you get any bullish setup, you can look to buy, but it's only really a scalp on the H1 at this stage, because yeah, we already have that bearish divergence. But if we look at this as a flat in here, we could get to that 100 fib like A, B, and get up to that 100 fib. Oh. Looking at the UY on the daily. So we're looking at that WX wave Y. We'll be looking for an X2 and then a Z up. So we're starting to get a larger correction in here. For that A, B, C. So again, you know, you can really, if you get a buy on this, you could start looking for the buy to go on. Well, we could even target this like 100 fib. This 100 fib up here. I'll just remove that now. So if you get a buy set up here, look for that buy up to the 100 fib. We do have a bull hidden here. So any buy setup you get, look for a buy to at least go and break that top. EG on the daily. This is very, very awkward. We're looking at WXY, X2, and an extremely choppy wave down, and we have all this bullish divergence. It hasn't turned, and this is still looking very much corrective down here. We're looking for a 50-50 retrace on the daily, but we're just getting very complicated. It will turn, but it just hasn't given us that setup to turn. I mean, it's hard because we have that lower low there. This could come down again and break this low. This is looking corrective in here, like an ABC up in here, and then we've gone and broken that low. So it's sort of like a head and shoulders. Like we got the shoulder, the head, and the second shoulder. So this can go and break that low. It's very risky. Like I've been saying, I'm only looking for the buys, but it's starting to get difficult. You really need to, if you're looking for the buy, you really need to wait. You need to, we need to get down to this 50 fib down here before you start looking for that buy. It could be very choppy in here, and then look for your buy setup against this low or the low here. If you get that buy setup, you could use the low wherever this wave here ends, or whatever structure it gives in here. We don't know what sort of corrective structure it will give. But if we get a corrective structure in here and then a buy setup, I'll be looking for that buy. Looking at gold. So like I said last week, we can get another one down in here. Even if it's just this is a flat in here, like I've got it drawn, and it just comes down to here and then gives us like an A, B, C. Still looking for a little bit more downside. On the H4, we were looking for a Z up, but that never played out. And like I said last week, this was looking more, this is a larger correction here now. All this is a larger correction than this. So only thing, well, we are getting bullish divergence, so you can start to look for the buy, but you have to be very careful. We got a bear hidden on the H1, but we're looking at like a W, X, Y, X2, and then a Z down. We got a bear hidden here, so you have to be very careful. At this stage, you can really only look for the sell. If you get a sell set up in here, you could look for a sell to at least go and break that low, just for a scalp. But yeah, it's very difficult to trade gold at this stage. WTI. So we're looking at that W, X, Y, X2. We got the Z up. We've lost all the bearish divergence. So I was just looking for a correction in here and then more upside. This is still playing out since last week. Nothing's really changed. Looking for this larger C down for an A, B, C. It's sort of I believe it gave bull hidden here somewhere. I don't know. So I'll be more interested in a sell for that larger C down. But you need to wait for that setup. We need a little trend line break in here. And a sell setup to sell this. So you really need a break and then your sell setup, a flag or a correction before you can look for that sell. Sort of more interested in the sell for that H4C down. Looking at Bitcoin. So on the daily, we can still look at this as an A, B, C, and a very slow start, and we go up and break the top. That's still a possibility, but we've had that nice bounce off that 100 fib, and this is looking like a flat in here. So we may get at least a C up, like an A, B, C, or this could turn into motive and we get a wave Y and an X2 and then a Z up breaking the top. Or this can be just a correction in here. I'm still looking for that one up in here to complete this, because it looks like an A, B, C in here. And then we get that A, B, C. So I'm still looking for that 100 fib in here. So on the H4, you can see we're starting to get bullish divergence now. So I'm looking for this C up. So any bullish setup that you get, look for the buy. There's no real buy setup on it at this stage. This is more like, this can be an A, B, C, and then you get that A, B, C for more downside, like an A, B, C. So it's starting to become complex just looking at the price action. Yeah, it's not really giving us a nice setup at this stage. SPX on the daily. So nothing's changed. We're looking at that A, B, C, back to this 100 pip, and then possibly more upside, or this can turn into motive like a W, X, Y, X2, and then a Z down. Excuse me. Looking at W, X, Y, was looking for that X2. We ruled it out. But then we were looking for a Z up. But like I said, you know, this is a larger flat in here. So yeah, really, it's going to be difficult to trade now if you're not already on it. We're starting to get bullish divergence, you know. So, you know, this looks like an A, B, C. So we may get an A, B, C up in here for a flat. And then if you get a sell set up, you could look for another sell. You can't sell down here. You need this correction and a sell set up before you can look for a sell. And there is no buy set up on it at this stage either. AU200, this one's playing nicely. Now, we're looking at, looking at an a B. We're looking for that C down. This also can be a flat in here for an A, B, C to finish off this B wave, you know. So you still got to be quite careful. So we still got to be very careful, because this can be a flat in here for an A, B, C, completing a B wave, and then we get this one down. So just got to be mindful of that. On the H4, we got that C up. Well, we're looking for an A, B, C. It went just above that 100 pip. On the H1, we're really looking for a sell. We got a nice impulse down. We're looking for an A, B, C to finish off this B wave, and then we're looking for a sell setup to go and break at least an A, B, C. So I'm more interested in the sell. It's not ready to give that sell yet, but if we get like an A, B, C in here, then you get a sell set up. Look for that sell for at least an A, B, C. I don't believe this correction's over here yet, but if you do get a little flag in here, you could give it a go, but keep tight stops, because it may just, like I showed, it could be just an A, B, C in here, and then we get that A, B, C, and then it falls over. Looking at the DAX on the daily. So this is starting to look very much bullish. Looking at W, very deep X2, wave white. We didn't get that bear hidden like I've been saying. But I was looking for an X2 and then a Z down on the daily. It's still not out of the question that we do get a Z down, but it's looking bullish. This is in here is looking very much bullish. We don't have any bullish divergence in here. See if there's anything on the see, we had this bullish divergence in here. I believe this has broken the top. Yeah, see, it's broken the top. You can really only look for buys until this low here is broken now, but you're sort of getting a trend line break in here on the lower time frames. So if you do get, you'd have to go down to the lower time frames, look for a flag, and then you could look for a sell to go and break that low. It is quite risky because we already have that bullish divergence. So, it's pretty risky. I'd just stay out of it at this stage. Looking at the FTSE, see, again, we got that really deep, like a very deep B wave. Now this can be a correction in here and give another one up for an A, B, C, and then you get that A, B, C as a running or expanding flat before you get another one up. Because we got such a deep correction here, it made it really hard to trade, to pick the direction. Here on the H4, we do have a bear hidden here. So we can look at this as like a W, X, Y, X2, and then a Z down. So if you get a sell set up on the H1, you could look for it. If you get a sell, a flag or something in here, look for that sell to at least go and break that low. That's the only real option you've got at this stage. I mean, it's looking bearish, but sort of on the H1, if you do get like an A, B, C in here, you could look for the buy as well to go and break the top for an A, B, C. So you sort of could trade this both ways. We do have that bear hidden on the H4, so that's the safest option to look for that sell. But again, if you get a buy set up, you could look for the buy. So I hope you enjoyed the weekly outlook this week. Enjoy your weekend, and I'll see you out there next week.